can turn this into something positive and maybe it'll spread.
He's the most positive person on his job.
Now you're cured.
I feel good.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting us into your homes. It is such a delight to give you examples of hope, courage, and inspiration each week. So grab a cup of coffee, tea, or hot chocolate and meet a few of the people who touched my life this week. There's one lady who is so committed to helping other women that she's often on the phone in the wee hours of the morning. She's a mother, wife, friend, teacher, and counselor. But to hundreds, she's a saint. This is a story about a journey that began with pain but ends with promise.
I thought that might have been the last day that I ever breathed God's fresh air.
Nancy Yarbrough Banks reads passages from a book about her life. It chronicles the shocking trauma she endured as a preteen and teen.
There were other guys waiting outside to have their way, but again, to me, in those moments, those are the breadcrumbs from God because He gave me what to say to them. Nobody else entered the room because they thought that I was on my menstrual cycle, but I wasn't. I was a virgin. And He took my innocence that day, but also He took away my voice because I feared to tell anyone.
Her book, The Exodus, Where New Beginnings Happen, recounts Yarbrough Banks' struggles after being molested, raped, lured into drugs and alcohol. The downward spiral began when her parents divorced.
What wounded you the most?
You know, I think more so the feeling of abandonment, the fear of not being, cared for, loved in the way that you thought you should. You're there to face yourself by yourself. I think that was the most hurtful part because I didn't understand who I was, but like I was hurting, So then you start looking for other people to fill that gap, that need to feel loved and accepted. Me trying to find myself through unresolved trauma that had already started.
But those raw feelings have given her a unique ability to warm other abandoned souls. That's why she gave birth to this shelter, Humble Beginnings, where women seek refuge from the streets. Denise Harris, the house manager here, also survived trafficking and drug abuse. She too can relate to the clients.
I know I can't save the world. I can't, but I be trying. I do. I can see somebody out there and I talk to them. I start off, how you doing? And then I don't know, it's just something about that I can feel their spirit. And then I just have a conversation and I try to direct them to some places where I think that can help them.
Both women have helped more than 200 women find sanctuary away from danger. Women like Carmen and her daughter Benita, who stayed for 2 months.
I was on the streets. I was sleeping in the airports. I was sleeping in the emergency departments, back and forth in shelters, back and forth in hotels. And then when I was at New Beginnings, I felt safe. I felt protected. They will help you out with open arms, and you will be safe. No matter what struggles you're going through, they will help you and guide you through it.
21-year-old Ornell Price left an abusive alcoholic mother at the age of 15 to find comfort here.
I could say, I need a blanket, do you have a blanket, something like that. I'll come get the blanket and she'll give me a hygiene bag too. Don't even have to ask for it. That's stuff that you need.
Nicole Mathis of Lake Geneva was trafficked and got involved in drugs and alcohol at 15. She credits Nancy Yarbrough with helping her escape.
She's provided a lot of things for me, including support, encouragement, hope. Yeah, I'm young. I didn't know, but I knew enough to know that what I was doing wasn't right. I just didn't want to say it for what it was.
Terry Woodley praises Yarbrough's book for helping her deal with her food obsession.
I can relate to with every chapter. Every chapter was getting better and better. It was getting more going into detail and stuff. And it's just about life.
Lives touched by a woman who found her voice by helping others find theirs.
I wish I knew how much my Genesis laid the foundation for what I would experience later in life. I would have given myself more grace. I would have sought help sooner. I would have loved myself enough not to blame myself for some of the choices I made. I am glad I know now.
What would the adult Nancy say to the baby Nancy.
You know what? Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. You know, it's not your fault. You're okay. Your beauty is not defined by your outward, but the love that God has placed in your heart for yourself and others defines you more than anything else. You are a survivor, and I love you. Yeah, that's what I tell her. You get through the trauma, and you go to the triumph. You stop being a victim and victim blaming and have accountability, and you become a survivor, thriver, activist, and now author.
And you know what? And most importantly, you're a strong, beautiful, warm, loving human being.
Yeah.
She's so incredible. Nancy's book is being used as a teaching tool in local programs to help victims of trafficking face their trauma. And when you read her story like I did, you are going to be even more amazed and just, you won't believe how much Nancy has gone through to have survived and thrived. Now to a story of a dog left for dead and the community that came together to save her. The Australian Shepherd was found in the town of Palmyra right before Christmas. So they gave her a lot of love and the name Tinsel. This resilient pooch gives a sparkle to everyone she meets.
Tinsel's become a little icon, if you will, everybody's really special dog.
This adorable dog almost became another statistic.
My wife called me one day on the 23rd of December that she saw a dog in the side of the road in the ditch. So I called my neighbor.
That neighbor is Town Supervisor Eddie Miller, and he's no stranger to abandoned animals.
And I've rescued cats. People drop stuff off out in the country. That's where they go to dump off animals they don't want. But I've never rescued a dog.
It had a bad injury and didn't really want to move and was freezing cold. And I mean, it was cold in December, so it just was a shame that somebody would do that to a dog.
Lost dogs in the town of Palmyra go to Leanne Kistner's farm.
We board, train, show horses out of our facilities. I take care of and house the dogs of Palmyra. Typically, when we go and pick up a dog, bring it home, we evaluate the dog, get pictures, and we post it on our social media. Typically, we're able to locate the owners within a day or two. In this case, we looked for over a month for this dog's owner and were unsuccessful. We then choose to keep the dog. You can keep the dog after a time lapse if you've gone through the proper steps. Doing that, and of course the fact that she needed a great deal of vet care, we made the decision to keep the dog within our own little farm family.
But despite her extensive injuries and no owner coming forward, nobody wanted to give up on Tinsel. There was a true sparkle about this pooch.
But it was anywhere from an hour a day to sometimes 3 hours in a day that it would take in order to get her taken care of. So it was quite the dedication for everybody. The farm people here covered my shifts for me so that I could take the dog to the clinic. On a couple of occasions, they would have to go up and pick her up and bring her home for me because I was dragged away elsewhere. So, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, we've created our own village.
My mother has always welcomed either an injured animal or an injured person into her life. And so when Tinsel came into our life and she started helping rehabilitate and getting everything fixed and making the decisions for the surgeries, I knew Tinsel was a lifer.
Eventually, Tinsel would have to have one leg amputated.
People tell you it's really hard to make the decision to remove a dog's leg, and they're not wrong. It is difficult to say, yeah, I'm going to take this amenity away from this creature. But when I made the decision, it was definitely the right decision. By that time, she was just miserable. And it was definitely time. And never in my life did I expect to see this part of her. They always get better they get happier once they start to improve health-wise. But this I didn't expect.
It was amazing because what Leanne did with that dog and what the Lord did with that dog, that, you know, it walks around and it's pretty cool.
One of the girls has become very fond of Tinsel, and she had asked Leanne this year if she could take Tinsel instead of Leanne's other dog, Rodeo, go to the dog program through Jefferson 4-H. And Leanne said, absolutely, if you're willing to take on that struggle, you know, like Tinsel doesn't know a whole lot. And the girl's like, I think I could totally help with this. And Tinsel looks forward to, you know, that one-on-one time with the little girl.
Tinsel is thriving with her family and fellow brothers and sisters. And as she gets around with only 3 legs, her spirit still shines.
During the time that this dog was trying to survive, my mother was trying to die. This dog would literally crawl in bed with my mother up at the hospital and just lay there, and it was the only response I would get out of my mom as she was reaching down and petting this dog, pretty much unaware that anything else was going on around her. I'm not saying that Tinsel saved her life, but it saved her for the moment. My hopes is that she can continue to make a difference for others, that she can help someone else in need. And she learned how to receive it, and I think receiving it taught her how to give it. And I think in the future she's going to have a great deal more to give.
Tinsel touching everybody's heart. And we're so happy to say Tinsel has a great life ahead of her. She's enjoying bones and belly rubs. Well, many people take it for granted, but some people tell us why they are proud to be an American.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, that's so nice.
And we approach strangers in the hopes of spreading joy. We also meet a lady beaming with Milwaukee pride. Welcome back. This week we have more than 100 new American citizens in our area. Our James Groh asked them what it means to be an American.
It was a big day for 111 people from 30 different countries. On Thursday, they became U.S. citizens. But I wanted to know one thing. What does it mean to them to be American?
I lived most of my life in this country. I feel this country is my country. My family is here. My kids are here. So I feel like this is my country.
It means that my dreams can come true.
I'm very happy.
It means success, it means freedom.
It's really great. I know this is what everyone is looking for, and I'm so opportune to have this opportunity today to be an American citizen.
I came here to pursue my dreams, to get my share of the sky. So it means a lot of things to me and my family, and my kids were raised, basically born here.
Directly after the ceremony, the first thing many of the new citizens did was register to vote. According to the Pew Research Center, 1 in 10 eligible voters in 2020 are naturalized citizens.
And congratulations to all of them. And even though we are not perfect, we are still the greatest country in the world. Well, every week we have a good time encouraging people's hearts by getting tips on how they stay positive. And we also have a little fun by surprising shoppers. My trip to the Century grocery store on 92nd and Lisbon gave me wisdom and pointers on staying positive from shoppers like Melody. What do you do to stay happy or focused or positive?
I pray, I go get massages. And that's how I was brought up, just being positive, actually speaking to somebody. That might be the only kind word they hear all day. So to know that I'm making a difference in somebody else's life, that's what helps me get through the day.
Melody's upbeat spirit makes me want to encourage the heart. Would you mind if I paid for your groceries?
What? That's fine. That is more than fine. I'm a giver, but I allow people to give for me as well. Of course.
Let me get out my little credit card here.
That means you have to go get you a massage.
Okay. 21-year-old Diamond shared her advice for staying uplifted. Can you tell me what you do to keep your spirits up?
Just be around like family and friends. That's pretty much it. I would say nothing too major.
What would you do if you were in a bad mood to make yourself feel good?
Probably go shopping. That makes me happy.
And to make Diamond feel even better, would you mind if we paid for your groceries today?
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, that's so nice.
I find a friendly couple perusing the meat section. Sharon is Milwaukee proud.
We are such a good city. My son knows people in California that have come through. One was an actor, and he said, oh my God, I got
stopped on the expressway, you know, the car went, and somebody comes up for no reason just to help, did so much. People, you just hear them speak about Wisconsin in awe, and it is an awesome state.
Time to encourage the heart.
Never had this happen to me ever. You see it on TV, but you think that stuff doesn't really happen. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I believe it was meant to be.
It was heartwarming. That is so much fun. Now, phase 2 of a song to promote love and acceptance is now underway. It's a call for harmony that also celebrates what's right in Milwaukee.
You know what? I like that.
This project bringing people from all segments of the community together. The song Brighter Days now being made into a video. Artists and community leaders from all walks of life are here to promote unity.
We're doing this for a greater cause than ourselves. We're doing this to show that we can all collectively come together, no matter if we're black, white, young, old, whatever you want to call it.
Sponsored by the Milwaukee Coalition Against Hate, community members took part in a candid discussion about race. The hope is that people can come together to solve problems in what's often called the most segregated city in the country.
We understand that we have our issues, but now we're going to work on them together, work on solutions together. That's what it's all about.
And there's always some good in something. You can always find the good in something, a lesson.
Now the final version of this song rolls out soon, and you're going to hear it right here on Positively Milwaukee. Still ahead, how a young basketball player refuses to be defined by his disability. And our photojournalist Jeff Morris gives us a beautiful glimpse of a sunset near an iconic Milwaukee sign. Welcome back. Imagine playing a sport, not being able to hear your coach, your teammates, the referee, or umpire. That's a reality for a high school basketball player at Greendale Martin Luther. Lance Allen has a remarkable story.
The swish of a basketball going through the net. The squeaks from shoes on the court.
Keep your man in front of you.
The chants from the crowd. All sounds of high school hoops. Now imagine silence. That's the reality for Greendale Martin Luther's J.J. Davis. What makes you tick?
I have like a hearing problem, but like I'm just like everybody. I talk like them, I listen just like them, I play like them.
He is a joy to coach. He's a joy to be around, just a great attitude, great spirit about him.
JJ lost his hearing at a young age.
Only time I remember something was I was 4. It was just a happy birthday.
As he got older, he was picked on.
First I was shy. I didn't talk to people. I just stayed by my teacher, just listened to him, try to be real close. Then as I got more comfortable, I got friends with people and nobody was like trying to bully me or anything.
So you said you got bullied?
Yeah, I've been bullied. Like it was 3rd grade. I got put down the stairs.
That same year, he turned to basketball.
My first ever game was TBL. It was like the Toasted Basketball League. First I was kind of mad, but as I got used to it, I'm just normal.
Later, JJ found a home at Martin Luther.
I knew everybody there was gonna be friends with me. Everybody here is like a family to me. I like my coaches and my teachers.
He's one of the most well-liked kids on the team because of the way he carries himself and his attitude. He's just never down. It's really inspiring in that way.
JJ's dad, Ramon, could not be more proud of how far he's come.
You know, as a dad, when you see your child who has the hearing loss, it's tough. Anybody that has a child with disabilities, they know. And for JJ, it's kind of a feeling of he did it. And knowing that he's doing it, he's earned it.
On the court, there's only one thing that might tip you off to JJ's hearing loss.
Every time a play happened or somebody scored, they try to get me to look at them so I can pay more attention.
You need to get his attention so he's looking at you, but in a loud gym in a big game, he's in the same boat as everybody else. For the most part, I don't notice any difference.
JJ's message to others?
Be yourself. Don't care about what people say about you. Enjoy life. Just be great.
It's just not something that we have had to really overcome. But it is an inspiration that he doesn't take that as any kind of an excuse.
Just awesome. J.J. Davis, Positively Milwaukee. Well, did you know we have a synchronized swimming team in Milwaukee? We do. It's at the Milwaukee VA Medical Center.
I thought you got to be kidding me.
These men are all military veterans. They have spinal cord injuries, so their physical therapy is in the pool. But they have so much fun you would never know this is required therapy. Milwaukee is home to the oldest sanctioned bowling alley in the nation. It's in the basement of the Holler House on Lincoln Avenue. There are only 2 lanes and the owners oiled them by hand. The owner's son, Michael Stuckert, recently bowled a perfect game. This was the first one bowled there in 86 years. Congratulations to Michael. Dozens of volunteers shared their time reading to students at Seaford Elementary last week. Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge Derek Mosley and police officers even joined in. We even had some of our colleagues from TMJ4 on hand. The goal of this readathon, open children's minds to the joy of reading. I always say you can never be lonely if you have a book. Marquette University has a new class for undergrads. It spotlights Christian and Muslim faiths. Students we talked to were surprised at how many similarities there are between the two religions. The professor is hoping that by understanding each other, we will build a stronger community of tolerance. When we return, words to live by. It's my quote of the week. Each week, I like to leave you with an inspirational quote. Today's is from Mahatma Gandhi. He said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Have a great week, everyone, and stay positively Milwaukee.